Welcome everyone to another Unorthocast podcast episode that sounded like many casts. I
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of fun people from the UnorthoBlock SMP with me. I have Draken, Lily, I have Jay, Jam, Iondis, Fleshy. Oh, I can still not
I take so
pronounce
much pride.
your name and Shotgun. Welcome everyone to our. I don't know what we should call this world. It's season 3. Everyone says that. Okay, this is season 3 spawn.
Who put rotten flesh on my head?
Yeah, this is
Let's see.
definitely season
Well,
3 spawn.
Yeah,
it's,
this
it's
is
what happened after the geese got hold of it.
Yeah.
we're doing a land game right now. Don't worry about it, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Only mildly post-apocalyptic.
Uh-huh.
it
we like
maybe
those
looks
vibes.
a little bit different, maybe. But yeah.
This is exactly how I remember it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just going old.
Yeah, I think so. So, season 3. That's what we're going to be talking about today. A little bit of a review of season 3 and like memorable things and builds that we liked building and stuff like that. So, what was the most memorable moment or highlight of season 3, you think?
Oh, jeez. I mean, there's
What?
a lot.
You're talking about a whole year and a half of
Yeah.
memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard question.
Honestly, like for me personally, probably annoying all of you with pop-up ads. That was great. But more than that was Draken's minigames. I mean, AOB. I didn't get to play AOB, unfortunately, but I'm sure I'll boot it up, in a world download or whatever, and play it on my own. But all those ODM and all that, I mean, that was always a good.
And you
Yeah.
enjoyed them. They were, they were quite a build. Definitely
Yeah.
memorable to build them. Certainly memorable to build them, and the amount of time that I ended up just burning through trying to get them constructed.
Definitely
I
worth
think-
it.
I think though for me was everyone's reaction when I built the wall on the first day.
Yeah.
I
remember that.
Yeah, that was memorable.
And everyone's like, "What's Draken doing?" And just suddenly there's this huge wall on one side of spawn.
Holy heck, Draken!
Yeah, that was pretty.
It's a common thing to hear and react with, honestly.
I think like every Draken builds is like, oh wow, this is
Yeah.
a lot.
That's for everyone. I think it's the same for everyone. We're on a very talented server. There's a lot of amazing builds on this server.
That is true.
I would say
I think for me, the most memorable moment was us all coming together for the end fight and the tower race and Chin's birthday party, like that day of celebration.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
really fun. Mine is actually the intro day, like the
Yes,
first
mine-
day.
mine too.
I like the first day
Nice
with
to be back.
Jay and Rogue. It was like it was the funniest first day ever, I think.
We're really good at having goofy first days.
Yeah.
And I'm sure season 4 will be no different.
Yeah, I'd have to say my favorite was Sunny's tent building stream that I did,
Oh yeah.
where we had Billy and wadificating, and Billy had a really deep voice out of nowhere, and all the chaos that was happening with it. But that was just a really fun time.
Because Teach said the day one stuff, I'm gonna say the llama brick shenanigans
Yeah.
with
Okay,
hair stuck
yep.
on Jan.
I can
That
stand
was
that
I
one.
wish I could forget that one.
Yeah, I think for my answer, it's definitely hard as I may have made 100 episodes, but just any like large silly thing that got a load of other people together, we just goofed around. Like I loved a Chaos Zombie 1 year anniversary. I loved a Brick Pyramid stream. I wasn't there for all of the tent building stream, but that was a lot of fun too.
Oh,
There
the
are a lot of-
Goose Star Hunt.
Oh,
that
that was good.
That was
Yeah,
great.
just a load of just good collabs too. Like I love Isekai Billy with a bus, and I loved Llama Bricks, of course, and just stuff happened, and it was quite good, wasn't it? Most of it, yeah.
2 words.
Yeah.
Enchilada saga.
Enchilada saga. Yes.
Wait, you had a whole
Absolutely.
saga?
Yeah, you weren't there for
Yeah,
that.
there was a whole
Oh.
thing. There was a whole thing.
Oh my. Can I have a bite though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
There's no,
you'll have
there's
to
no more
wait.
left. There's
Yeah.
no more.
Not the stream
Oh.
one. If you did the
the
stream one, it
bite
ends
was
the
a
world.
problem.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah,
It's
well,
like the bite of
Your
87,
stream?
but not.
The
Well,
bite of
yeah.
23.
the last time I got anything stream related, the stream golden apple or last stream day, I ate that immediately. So it's probably a good thing I never
Yeah,
got
he
hold
did.
of
It was so rude. I worked so hard on
Enchilada
that.
saga would have been over in a
Mhm.
couple hours if Flezzy was there. Oh my goodness.
It's 30
Mhm.
seconds max.
Yep.
I would also say one of the more memorable things were when we built the when we helped out building the, when I say helped out, I mean annoying the guys who are building the nether hub also was fun.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
guys had a lot of fun with that, didn't you?
Oh.
You guys were great helpers. Mhm.
Yeah.
So helpful. Yeah.
So and all of the the Gucci thing was also a lot of fun.
The Gucci thing. We could have done more with that.
That's all it needs to know is it's a Gucci thing. That's it.
That's had a
I
lot
don't
of
know if I
moments.
ever made it into content. So we did.
Well,
did
you
people
know,
watch
yeah,
the
all the
podcast?
people need to know is that we keep it drippy, you know. We look fly.
Yeah, we did. And I have to say the slogan of Beardopolis was amazing.
Your favorite.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Remind
Gucci
the
Gang.
people what that is again.
In Beardopolis, we don't care about your problems. We only care about your money.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
Oh yeah, going around selling my donuts, that was fun.
Oh my god, that was so much fun.
I'm still weirded out about that because, like,
Don't ask questions, just like you don't ask questions about slop, right?
well,
Don't ask
Yeah,
Don't
fair
questions.
ask
enough.
questions you don't
It's in
want
the name.
answers to.
Do not ask
Yeah.
questions.
yeah, fair. All right. They were delicious though.
hmm
So, did season 3 meet your expectations, or did it surprise you in any way?
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's
Highly
big questions.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't honestly I had no idea going in because there's a lot of new people and that sort of thing. So I had honestly no clue, but it turned out to be a fantastic time.
Yeah, well, I'd never done anything like this before, so I was just really nervous. I didn't really necessarily have expectations, but I had a lot of fun. So.
Mhm.
I think I was surprised by how welcoming everyone was. Like it wasn't like it wasn't like you had like a time that you were like feeling outside the group. I remember when I was asked to be on season 3, like I think it's like 4 months before or something, and I attended the first meeting and everyone was like, speak up, it's all right. It's like I was a part of the gang already then, so that was a surprise. It's how easy it was to become like
They
a member
asked you?
here. They
I was
asked me.
told to join.
Not gonna
Yeah,
dig
yeah.
into
You don't have a choice.
Yeah, shotgun. We're like, okay,
Sorry, not
let's
sorry.
shotgun, and then I just,
You could have
I'm
said
just
no.
like, you
You
are
didn't join
joining
it.
Unorthoblocks.
Wow. So
Oh.
forceful.
Yeah.
You were like, here's an enchilada.
Well, I already
Right,
knew
yeah.
Shotgun pretty well, and I already knew he wanted to be in it, so there was no way he was going to say no.
Valid.
So I just thought it was funny.
The season was fun.
was
It
a
was
good
so
time.
good.
So many arcs, so many stories, so many memories. I mean, shoot, you can't
Yeah.
really want any more than what we had in season 3, right? Like it was
crazy.
crazy. Yeah,
It was unorthodox.
yeah. It perfectly summed up who and what we are as a server.
Yes.
The
Goofy.
scale this
Yeah,
season
I'd
has
say so.
far exceeded any previous seasons as well.
Oh yeah, big time.
If you look back,
Oh.
even on season 1, which was a really long season, season 1 went on for like 2.5 years in total, whereas like season 2 and 3 have been like 1.5 years each. And there were some big builds done on season 1. And season 2 was a bit shorter, and it wasn't so big on its scales as season 1. But this season, we've just blown everything out of the water in terms of scale. All the way across the map. You literally, I mean, I did on my final episode that fly around of the server just in one take. It took about 15 minutes just to fly around all the areas around spawn itself. And you just realize just how much has been altered and changed and been touched by the members of the UnorthoBlocks on there. It's phenomenal work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say I love flying around on our season 3 world because we're all so close together and
Mhm.
everybody's bases are incredible and just flying through and seeing everybody's things. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
what was
I think that was the major thing that sort of surprised my expectations of the season. How interconnected everybody's bases are.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not changing my being a loner out in the Nether thing, but it came as a surprise to me from my previous servers I've been on, having that being the exception with me out doing my own thing, rather than that being the norm that everybody had a base doing their own thing. If that makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. It really does make you happy to just walk around the server and like you can see multiple bases at once. There's that person, you know.
Yeah, and it just
Really
makes
nice.
the whole, you're going somewhere, you're like chopping down a forest, and you just randomly stumble upon like, Jam, for example. He shows up, and then you have an interaction, and that's content,
Content. Delicious.
I've seen
Mystery base.
I particularly love that. Oh, sorry, go on, Jay.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, and I gotta thank Sunny for having she made such a great background for all my videos. Just having her giant tent there.
But that direction, I think, is one of my favorite directions in the server because you just literally go out from spawn in that direction. You go right onto this bridge. You go past the Zen Guard, and you got AJ's village on the side there. You come across Shotgun's village as well, Sunny's tent, and the whole thing there as well before you get to your area, Jay. And you can literally just fly out in a line there, and it's just this beautiful scenery all the way through. I think it just looks absolutely stunning in that direction.
Yeah.
And it ends with, I think, Amelia's Blue Mountain, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
It looks
it's
great
such
down
a
there, and also Fireflow as well, that direction as well.
yeah. It's been a really great season because it feels like it just we were just getting more tighter and tighter as long as the season went, and I think that's always is tends good. And something that surprised me really was like even at the end of the server, it still wasn't a lively server. It was never in a point where it was just dead. It's always been on, and people has used the server time and put their time.
That's a difference between, at least for me, that I felt from other seasons, is that when season 3 ended, it really did feel complete in a way. And that's probably to do with a lot of the like builds that were going on, people finishing their bases and everything. But I mean, it was just it feels good to move on, kind of, in a way, because it's like, I mean, we left no stones unturned.
Yeah,
we season 3'd our hearts out.
Yeah, I think season 2 there was a little bit, certainly a number of the members there at the end of it. There was a lot of people who hadn't quite got to where they wanted to be. When we got to the end there, and not through any fault of their own. Often it was like life circumstances and everything else. But this season, it does feel like, I think I agree with you there, Fuzzy. It was very much complete at the end there. You can fly around, and it just feels like a complete world. It doesn't feel like anything was missed.
No, it was really good. So, were there any overarching themes or storylines that stood out? I mean, I have to say Cocoa Bean Alliance.
Not biased at all.
Really overarching?
I mean, it was great though.
I mean, the Cocoa Bean Alliance was quite amusing to see going on. Even if you guys wouldn't take the bait so often when I was baiting you out with like the illegal cocoa beans and the Coffee Bean Alliance too, and you guys just go to news broadcast and go, "Yeah, we don't care, Dragon." I was like, "Oh."
Hey, I like the illegal cocoa beans.
Yeah.
No, I love that you did that so much.
Yeah, it was so good, and we really play like we don't care. Really, it was
fully in character, fully in the nature of Cocoa Bean Alliance. But
The Cocoa Bean Alliance really didn't get much done ultimately in the season, but what they did get done was amusing.
we
Cocoa beans.
we talked about the like before, and I just remember one thing I have to the ancient city raid with Rogue, Jay, and
Oh, and
Gertie. It was
Absolutely.
I remember watching that in a few people's videos. That was a great time.
That was so funny.
the amount of times Rogue died.
Well, yeah. I mean, the amount of times everybody died. I'm gonna
Yeah,
say
we
that.
just ran.
Y'all had
in-
an iron will with that.
So yeah, it actually like stood out really a lot, the Cocoa Bean Alliance, even though we didn't do anything with it that much. It just everything with it. It was just a lot of fun to be part of.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think my favorite overarching storyline, I know it's quite recent, but it's got to be the mystery base. Like, we're 90% sure we know who built it now, but it was just so much fun, like that whole mystery and just the chaotic confusion and all the free content it generated. Just a lot of fun, actually, in the end.
Wait, when do we get to talk about the mystery bit? Like, who did it? When do we get to talk about this?
I still don't know who did it.
Okay,
It was
I'm
me,
not
guys, come
100%
on.
Sure. Mhm,
Like, about the only thing I remember is that no one believed that it wasn't me. And if I did it, I would actually know who did it.
Do we reveal on the podcast who built the mystery base?
I mean, it's not like
Shall
we're gonna make
we?
a video about it.
I mean, Jam might.
Jam might, yeah.
I don't
I
know,
mean, Jam's
man.
got one more episode, haven't you? I think. to
One
come out?
more episode, yep. One
Okay,
more.
can't
Oh,
reveal
the
till
big
Jam's
100.
done. No,
Yeah.
Nobody gets to know
honestly-
until Jan's done uploading. God.
Honestly, if it's for the number like 100, I think that's pretty.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty cool thing to hold off on it for.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was Teach. He built
It
it.
was-
Guys, it was me. I'm telling you.
No, it was
Or
me.
just
It
say we
was
all
me.
stand up and say we all did it.
Yeah.
Because everything got an overblocks.
Okay, yep.
Yeah.
I did it, obviously.
It was me. It was. I have
It
to
was.
admit.
It wasn't the mystery. It was the friends we made along the way. That's what was good about it.
Ah,
Oh,
lovely,
lovely.
lovely.
So I could be very self-centered and say my own thing, but I'm gonna say I love Plasma's storyline.
Mhm.
With his multiverse stuff. I love Draken's storyline. Yeah, I don't honestly, I loved all the storylines. If we're gonna be completely honest here, but
There was some great lore this season. You know, not everyone does lore, but the people who do, they do a good job with it.
Yeah.
absolutely.
And it's really impressive thing to do when not everyone is doing lore, and to like interact with the other guys and how they did that in the episodes. It was actually really. Were there any build projects or creations that particularly impressed you, and what?
Sunny's Zen Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sunny Zen
yeah,
Garden.
yeah. It's
Yeah, that was stunning in itself. You know, obviously, you know where I have my balloon on the edge of spawn, and obviously once you have Bobby installed and everything else, and the render distance up, being able to just look out the back of the balloon, which I sort of use as my main base of operations throughout the whole of the season, even though I built all these other things. You could just always just go out, look out the back of the balloon, and there would be the Zen Garden just right behind it. It was such a view just behind, and obviously we had like Ionis's bridge as well off to the side there as well, which also just complemented it so well. But yeah, that Zen Garden and that statue was just perfect. It was
yeah,
spot on.
it's,
And I think the balloon was just at the right distance for the render, that it was just outside of the fogs. It was just starting to go into the fog at the back of the statue, and it was just like just so atmospheric.
It's funny too because she was so worried about that build. I showed her in the early days my bridge in Creative World, and I was like, "This is what I'm doing," and she's like, "But I want to build a garden there," and I was like, "Yeah, and she's like, "How do I make that match?" And I was like, "What do you mean? You can do it." Like, and she's like, "But I will be able to." I was like, "Girl," and yeah, look at it. I was like, I don't know why you were doubting.
yeah. I mean, it's that Zen Garden is it's such a good build. Like, and do it in survival also with everything. And yeah, it's one of them. Like, I've been playing Minecraft for a long time, and I've seen a lot of good builds in different servers, but I have to say that that's one of my like top 5 builds that I've seen.
Same, easily.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's such a good build. And then Draken's end station is also crazy
Yeah,
build.
Dragon's end stations hitting that sort of mental overflow of it stops feeling like a build. That's just the world now, I guess.
Yeah,
It's going to feel weird next season going to
Yeah.
it with just an end island again, because the first 2 seasons we had just an end island, and then just taking it over and rebuilding it all, and it just feels like it belongs there now. It does. Yeah, it would be weird to have an end island and not have the asteroid and the station out there anymore. But
so good builds,
yeah, thank you.
and the cathedral also, Draken.
Mhm.
And
was
it
very
came up
happy
so
with that.
it came up so quickly on the server.
Yeah.
It one day
did.
it was just there.
Yeah.
And I was like, I remember because I was building the mansion like across. So I saw you build the whole thing, pretty much, because we're like there, and
across,
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just there. One day I logged in. It was like, okay, yeah, this is just Draken. That was what I was explained from anyone. It's like, yeah, it's just Draken. That's what it does. Yeah, but
I guess
Yeah.
for the new people
Catacombs
this
as
season.
well.
Yeah. I think just anything built by Draken.
I think this
Well,
new
I
season,
am.
that cathedral was a very good introduction to what I do to the new people this
Yep.
season, because people hear about it, but they don't until you see it. And I don't know how I do it either. I really don't. But I mean, as I say, this is about a lot of people built lot of big builds this season as well. I wouldn't say I'm the only big builder here at all by any scale or imagination.
This is also a hard question because there's
Yeah,
just so
I
many.
know.
good
I'm just
choices.
sitting here like, but I love all of them.
Yeah.
I really want to shout out Lily's base, because I was going through and the amount of just like it just goes everywhere, and there's so many houses and so many interiors, and it's all really it looks so nice. I don't know. I don't know how you do that in the Nether. I,
Yeah. Talking about
It's-
iron
Okay,
wills
fair
earlier. You
enough.
have a big one.
I know. And it's like everywhere I would be so secluded in one spot. I wouldn't go anywhere if I tried to do stuff in the Nether. But she's spread out and made a whole thing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, but that's sort of how it works. I'm looking out my front door, and there's that stretch of wall that's bothering me. So I put a house there, and then I step out from that house's front door, and there's a stretch of wall that's bothering me. So I put a tree.
I've got to give a shout out to Rogue, I think. Sorry for the compliments, Rogue, if you're watching this. But like, I just think what you did with taking this very plain desert biome, which people don't often think to build in because it's just, desert, and turning it into this beautiful, cohesive build with so many paths and so many buildings, so many cool techniques like those rocks you did. It just turned out so good. I think it's really an amazing build.
it
Keep
does.
on torsoing.
And I think there's definitely there's also a shout out as well for Jam, your build as well.
Oh,
I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
we look at what you've done over there. I mean, you have a build style that I have no hope in ever replicating. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And when I looked over your finished village in the end, and obviously with that sign outside, your custom model sign in the front there, and it just feels like a British village. It just sums up those sort of little idyllic villages you find out in the countryside in the middle of nowhere, deep in the Welsh valleys, or off in the middle of Middle England somewhere. That you're driving along one day, and then suddenly you're driving along for like 10 minutes through countryside and farm fields, and then suddenly there's the village, and it's just this cluster of buildings and everything else, and it sums up that British village vibe
Thank you.
very well.
That was absolutely the intention, so it makes me very happy to hear that worked.
Yeah, I like the chippy shop. It's my favorite jam build.
I also want to shout out Amelia's base. Obviously, the amount, just as well, the amount of land that covers is crazy to me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she leveled a whole mountain, and and it looks amazing. I don't know.
Like, I would say, like, and then the community build also, the community, the trading hall. I mean, the trading hall was also a really cool build.
Oh yeah, and that saw a lot of use. That was like, at least for me, gearing up early. I mean, that was imperative. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah,
I would-
having
Rose
a-
built
so
that early
helpful.
season as well was just incredible as well. Just like so rapidly went up. but also got it into its trading state early on, very, very quickly.
Oh yeah, I would
Even
say
before he had finished the shell, but then finished the shell just in almost extra quick time as well. And all the farms that were beneath it, that were fueling it. It was really not very quick.
I would say one of the most important, for me at least, was one of the most important builds this season. The amount of time that I used the trading hall is crazy, and
Same.
and to be there and just have it there and everything, and also his rocket shop that he did, like, and then he went like, oh guys, it's free.
Ruined the economy.
I know.
Oh yeah.
Draken and Rogue.
Yeah,
Yeah, we ruined the economy this season, unfortunately. Yeah. I just gave away all the iron, Rogue gave away all the rockets and the shulkers, and yeah, that was
And
it.
then
The economy was
concrete
gone.
and stuff was basically being given away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, concrete with 1 diamond for 9 stacks. You know, it was just like it was very dirt cheap, very, very dirt cheap this season.
That honestly probably accelerated a lot of the builds though. Because I used a lot of concrete for like the Schlop factory and stuff like that. I'm sure it being cheap and available made it so much easier for everybody to just get their builds thrown up, you know?
Being able to just get bulk iron made it a lot easier to have my lanterns everywhere.
Oh yeah.
It was so useful. Yeah.
And the early shops we didn't talk about, but the early Froglight shop and all of the shops inside that mountain was
The bazaar,
really,
yeah.
so
It was quite
important.
bizarre.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and Gert's Dirt, shout out, my favorite shop, just because of the name.
I never expected to shop there as much as I did.
Same.
Well, the poetry for me, I
Oh,
spent a fortune in the poetry.
Poetry.
Literally, I mean, I think I literally just ran out of diamonds just because it all went into the poetry.
Yeah.
It literally became accidentally. I don't think she was ever intending on going hard on the economy and trying to sell everything, but she became basically the richest person on the server without even trying.
Yeah,
And
but
the fact that those were hand gathered trees, she wasn't even having a
say
tree
that.
farm.
Yeah.
and it
No.
was never out
Dirty.
of stock.
You mad
No.
woman.
Always
Yeah.
had adequate stock. And it blows my mind.
You gotta appreciate the grind.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the time, like, that's one of the like most important, like, impressive things that we like all this that the viewers that really doesn't see is the time that we put down on all of this. Like, these are huge builds, they take a lot of hours, and that's the most impressive things this season, I would say. Like, the amount of time people are on the server, and just grinding maybe, or whatever it is that they do on the server. But that's, I would say, the most impressive thing this season.
And
Yeah.
they miss all the the amount of trips to the Nether just to get quartz and scouring to find stuff, or search looking up on the internet how in the world mushroom growing works. Stuff like that. It's like there's so much like headaches and stuff, but it's a lot of fun.
I mean, like, recording the episode wasn't really that took a long time. It was the grinding stuff of it.
That's Minecraft.
Yeah. So this is the hardest question maybe of the whole episode. What was the most impactful event or twist that happened this season?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's why I said it was maybe the hardest question
I'm
today.
gonna say the mystery base pretty quickly
Ooh.
because that got me to interact with a lot of players on the server too.
Herm. Really got the gears in my head spinning.
So, I think for me personally, it was the Cocoa Bean Alliance day one, specifically just because that, like, I was so anxious starting that day, but that immediately broke my shell open, and
It had to.
it just helped me the whole season that one day.
I think in terms of most impactful event or twist, the crossover.
Oh, sure.
That is a
How
that
have
is a
we
good
not
one.
mentioned that?
Actually.
Did it
I
happen this
agree with the
season?
crossover. I think the crossover made me a tiny bit more extroverted for the rest of the season.
Really,
It was great to be able to
you
sort of
were
hang out.
extroverted.
Yeah, no more.
I mean, at the very beginning of the season, I don't know if I'd say he really was, but that's just
Yeah,
because
'cause I didn't know any of you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like right when
I
he
know you
joined,
well
I
now.
think he was more.
But it was great
Mhm.
to hang out with people who are in a similar boat to us, but not quite in the same boat as us, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. So you got to sort of draw on and see where they had the same sort of the challenges they faced as a community as well, the things in their builds, their ideas, and everything else that they took away. I mean, obviously, I was inspired by some of the big games on that server. You had things like, the Warden Maze that Neat Freeze had built, and Vid's Casino, and all that sort of stuff that was down there, and the back rooms as well. And I took away some of that inspiration because, obviously, though the games aren't quite the same, it's after that point we had ODM and Assault on Blocktron and all that sort of stuff come along, these big games and everything else. And it sort of inspired me to go and build my own big games and go, actually, yeah, I could do this. I could build a big game. And so, yeah, that's for me, I think that was probably one of the biggest sort of inspirations I had this season.
Mm-hmm.
I think like the dragon fight this season was really important. It was really important because before that, like we had the season on for like, was it 3 months at least? And no Elytra for those 3 months. It was
We were stuck with horses.
oh yeah, it was hurtful. And everything went just better after that. No, but
It definitely stretched the early game out a bit more, which was the
yeah, it
idea.
did. Yeah. But
It
just
gave me reminders of why I don't use horses.
Also true.
But the dragon fight in particular was like the event for me because it was so messed up. Like the dragon basically killed itself. Do you remember that? It took damage of his own shots and stuff. And that whole thing was fun.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
My brain has drained, and I think I do have an answer for this. I've got to say the pig race that we did on the 25th of June 2023 at 6 p.m.
Give me exact
Memories.
chords or you aren't good enough.
Yeah.
Well, it's near my base across some spawn, so
No
it will have
exact
been,
chords, sorry. Nice try. Try again next season.
Yeah.
It will have been about negative.
No, stop.
301. I think it's
Let him cook,
genuine
man.
You're gonna
Jeez.
break your brain.
But yeah, I joined the season a bit late. I joined on the 11th, the 5th of March 2023. We're doing the dates thing again. Yeah, I joined the season late, so I didn't have like the first day stuff. And I couldn't quite make it to the dragon fight. So the pig race was kind of the first thing I'd done on the server. That was just a lot of people doing a big silly thing, and it just really opened my eyes to the Unorthocast because it was kind of my first time. And I'm like, whoa, there are lots of people here, and like we're having fun and doing stuff, and I had such a good time. And I think to this day that's still a video that I've edited fastest time. Got it done in 4 hours. Like as soon as it had ended, I just started editing because I really did just have that good of a time.
Nice.
So yeah.
If we go into like more gameplay and balances and stuff like that, so did you think that the season balances was good balance between exploration, building, and everything on it? If you understand my question.
No, I don't think we did enough building. I think we needed to build at least
Yeah.
10, 20 times more than we did.
As the person who had to cull the entire 18 gigabyte world, I think you explored a little too much for my taste. Just saying.
You can't contain my wonder for the world.
It wasn't
I
even
will
you.
generate
It was
chunks.
Jam's fault because of waystone hunting.
It
Yeah.
wasn't just me. I know Amelia does a lot of exploring.
Yeah, Amelia
too,
also explores a ton.
like tens of thousand blocks away, which is fine. Exploring is fun until people have to cover the world.
Mm-hmm.
Exploring is fun until the consequences of your actions.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry on this. Next season, I will be the little explorer bug.
We went from
Don't do
18
exploring,
gigs
kids.
to less than 2, guys. That's how much I had to delete.
All right. So next season we're gonna shoot for 100 gigs, right?
Yeah.
Or more. Challenge accepted.
Yes. Yes.
Woo!
Day one, everybody just immediately splits up and runs as far as they can.
Ruin the server.
Oh, no, yeah, you're gonna crash the server.
Just
because you
crash
got
Run
it,
in
it.
every direction.
Oh,
Aim for the stars.
All right,
See if we can get people back to a gig.
my challenge
Nice.
next year to everyone on UnorthoBlocks is
next
the
year.
one who gets first to 100,000 blocks out from spawn.
Someone just needs to build Doc M's teleporting thing on the nether roof, and there you go.
Ooh, who are we teleporting away? Can it be T?
Draken.
Please.
Why me? What have I done now?
I feel like you'd appreciate it the most.
I think he's gonna need it the most.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, yeah, 100,000 from spawn. I think I could build a build that long.
It's gonna challenge any
gonna be-
other big, long, plans.
Yeah, it's gonna be one really long airship.
Oh wait, I have
Yeah.
big long plans. Oh,
Oh, do you? Wow, that's crazy.
I've never mentioned my big long plans. Well, at least not on the podcast.
Neither
They're
did
still
I.
big and
You
long.
did.
Wow.
Wow.
So, were there any new game mechanics or features that we introduced for last season? I can just think of those models that were jammed.
Not a fan.
Not a fan.
You're right. Ban models, right, Jam?
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Oh,
No.
well, you said not a fan. I'm just assuming.
Mm.
No.
You know what happens when you assume.
He's about to cry over here.
This was the first ever server I played on with its own custom resource pack, and I'm so glad that it's the first one because it's very exciting to have all these custom items.
Yeah, it
There
was
was a lot. How many did we end up with? Of custom?
Okay,
One or
right.
two.
Right, chat. I'm doing the control A. Hold on.
Oh no.
I thought you would have known by now after reviewing it.
Okay, it's still 993. Cool.
There you go.
So 992
That's insane.
custom
Over
models.
1,000
Insane amount that we
items.
built this season.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pumpkin asks favorite custom model. Go.
I saw
Guitar.
All my donuts, obviously.
Yeah, my favorite was the Flez hammer.
Yeah.
The
Badgers.
axe.
Badgers.
Gotcha.
The
So
penguin.
actually, I also
go.
really
Actually, no,
appreciate
sorry. I
coming up
take
with
back the axe. My wings. Completely subtle, understated, but I love having my LA wings.
My
Yay.
loved
my
coming up with the barrel covers.
Mm,
Oh, the
Using
barrel
them in that
covers
way.
are so cool.
It's hard to choose a favorite model because there's over 900.
and
Yeah.
between Draken and Jam, maybe like 95% were made.
I really like the donuts as well until I stole Jam's glasses because he kept dying and I had to save him like 3 different times in one day.
You
So I
get
kept
your own
his
sunglasses in
glasses.
season 4.
Hey, yeah, I wasn't going to say anything, sir.
Oh, whoopsie.
Yeah, shh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Uh,
Though
We're
I
going
also
back to
liked
game
Plasma's
mechanics.
glasses.
Also good ones.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the goggles.
Going
The
back to game
Biggles, yes,
mechanics, though,
Pumpkin. We
My
love the
favourite.
Biggles.
Game mechanic change for this season has got to be waystones. I mean, they were just worked
Oh
so
my God.
perfectly.
yeah,
They were
no
so
problem.
great.
love
No one
Waystones.
caused any issues
They even got
whatsoever.
married.
The Waystones were incredible.
It's quite a character arc for them.
They're so good, we removed them.
What even got married? I mean, come on, you know.
I'm like
what an
so
arc.
happy I brought that topic up. You know what I mean? I'm so happy I recommended that.
Yay. So
Okay,
sad.
and-
So that this leads to the next question: were there any technical challenges
Sand
or
duper.
issues that affected gameplay?
I mean, the sandtuber worked perfectly fine. It was just
The weird
an
hoppers.
unfortunate. It was just an unfortunate incident that
Can we just
caused
say
that
the
to
what,
happen, which
what
could have happened to any
saw
sandtuber.
footage?
Yeah, the what went wrong.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're just gonna go through that.
The weird hoppers, the sand duping, the deleting entities,
all
the
Shin's
at
fault.
E, the at E thing that
Oh,
was
yeah,
Pez's fault.
yeah,
Yeah.
The Waystones, they're dead to us.
Whoa, whoa.
Obviously,
I'd
the
give an
dragon
honorable
fight.
mention to the golden carrot incident of May 30th, 20.
What?
When they all turned into purple and black.
I spent a full day trying to fix that, and it turns out there was just a
Oh,
very
yes.
capital letter.
But
Yep.
did the map ever break?
No,
Then
No,
there
I
you
don't
go.
think-
It wasn't that bad.
You succeeded.
I'm gonna break the mid map
So-
next season.
Do
So-
it, Fuzzy.
So the last question for this segment: if you could change one thing about gameplay in season 3, what would it be?
Ooh, remove skeletons.
They are pretty OP.
I hate
Yeah.
those things so much.
Especially early game. Oh my god.
Oh my
they do so
lord.
much damage.
Make it so
Oh,
that
yeah,
my
the ones in
entire
the Nether.
base counted as another fortress.
I kept on getting shot every time I was going up to the Nether roof. I kept on taking the scaffolding up, and so many times I was nearly at the top, and I'll get shot and just basically fall off the scaffolding and die because there wasn't enough space to open the wings properly. Yeah, skeletons definitely. I agree with you on that one.
I
Keep
would
inventory
say
and give me invincibility level 99.
How about you just get good?
Could you? I would like to have a command block.
me
Aren't
too.
you on the list of people that can't?
I am.
Yeah, there you go.
There are
Sorry,
people
bud.
who
We've discussed
can.
this many times.
So are you implying there are people who can have a command block?
Well, she
Pairs
did give
can.
pairs pairs could have command blocks.
No way. Was that like in the actual season, not just guest?
No,
Yeah.
it was in guest week. It was just.
It was
Ah.
guest week. It was the last 5 minutes of the server,
Yeah.
Ah.
and he still
Uh,
couldn't break the server.
Well, he certainly broke something.
I would say you have more waystones. That would be great. Less, not more. Less waystone. Well, I guess I am the one to say goodbye to this world last, because you see, season 3 has now come to an end. Thank you for listening. Firstly, thank you for every UnorthoBlocks member that wanted to be a part of this whole discussion. What was your favorite moment from all the creators of season 3, and what stuck out? Please tell us. Yeah, thank you, UnorthoBlocks YouTube channel, for creating this and letting me have this space. Yeah, like and subscribe, and follow all the UnorthoBlocks members. So yeah, goodbye.